Greetings survivors and friends, and welcome to this week's summary of the Rust update, where we have news on skins, grenades, and proof that there is life after
Concept Limbo.
But first, such nostalgia, very music, so Rust. Literally lots and lots of people have said they'd like nothing better than having that original menacing, sphincter-tightening Rust music back, and so lo and behold, it's happening. This is actually a step up from the original, as instead of one rigid music file, it's currently being remade from the ground up with separate stems so that it'll be compatible with the dynamic music system that was introduced a little while ago. Huzzah! Crafting times for a number of items were reduced rather significantly in this update, you'll be pleased to know. Arrows now craft in 5 seconds instead of 20, and most of the guns now only take 1 minute instead of 3. In addition, snap traps craft in 30 seconds and auto turrets are down to a minute. Cost-wise, a variety of prices have been slashed this week too. For instance, landmines no longer cost gears to make, metal barricades require 1 less blade, bone knives need less bone and no cloth now, and ironically, the double-barreled shotty only takes 1 pipe to craft. Another cost reduction happened to the F1 grenade, which is now both cheaper and no longer requires a spring, and although it now hardly damages structures as of this update, the throw animation's been made a lot snappier, the upshot being to make it more viable for anti-personnel purposes, so why not give it a go and see what you think. Hollow sights were improved in this update, as it was noticed how hard it was to see the reticle during the day. A few tweaks later, and it should now be visible at any time. Farming 1.8 is here, yay! But what does that mean? Well, this improvement to the system now rewards your green-fingeredness by offering higher yields in return for looking after your plants properly. This will be calculated based on how much water each plant has absorbed during its life cycle, and you'll know when you're not doing your job properly, as distressed plants will start to lose their colour. An unwatered hemp will now only give you 10 cloth, whereas a happy plant will yield up to 40, and the same goes for corn, which can produce between 2 and 6 ears, and pumpkins, which will give between 1 and 3. It's not easy being an oil barrel, you know. You get left behind because not everyone's in the market for your crude contents. There's a problem with this though, because if a junk pile isn't fully harvested, then it won't despawn for a full 20 minutes, meaning that one won't respawn somewhere else to take its place, and that's bad. To combat this and give you more incentive to finish what you've started, oil barrels will now give you a bit of low-grade fuel too, and you want that, don't you? If you'd spent any of your hard-earned, or maybe even not so hard-earned cash on skins lately, then you'll likely have been distressed by the bug that many of us have had, where we couldn't actually craft them in-game. Unfortunately, the exact nature of the problem has been very hard to track down, and it seems that Rust isn't actually the only game to be having this issue, which makes it even stranger. Thoughts are that it might well be a problem with Steam itself, but until the solution is pinned down, a temporary workaround has been put in place, so hopefully you can get skinned up once again now. World serialization, which will improve loading time significantly, is going quite well at the moment, with a test coming to the development branch early next week and a push to the main branch planned for the next forced wipe. If all goes well, the idea is to allow server owners to stream the world from their end, which will open things up for server-side mods and eventually custom maps, probably in the shape of giant willies or something, knowing the player base, but watch this space for more. Sadly, the Unity upgrade that was made earlier this month and which fixed the alt-tabbing issue when running in exclusive full-screen mode had to be reverted in this patch due to a problem that it caused with the physics engine. Not really anything else that can be done about this at present, but hopefully it'll be fixed in a future upgrade soon. A couple of welcome fixes were made though, namely one that makes picking up dropped items a lot easier, and another that should resolve the phantom bow shot sound that's caused many a laundry bill for nervous players lately. On the subject of sounds, as well as a number of polishes to distant gunshots and explosions, the recycler has some new noises, and although it's thankfully a tad quieter, the sound now carries over a longer distance, so you'll need to be a bit more cautious when it's time to grind. Over to work in progress now, and further to the recent animation system rework, all of the third-person animations are being redone, and one benefit of this is that hands will now be positioned correctly on guns at all times without any clipping through, as you can see here. More components are getting proper world models such as computers, charcoal, animal fat cans and CCTV cameras. Dungeon overgrowth was something I mentioned briefly last week, and here's the latest shot of nature attempting to reclaim the sphere tank. With 10 dungeons to cover with weeds and shrubbery, it's not an overnight process, but good progress has been made so far with the power plant, sphere tank, lighthouse and harbours, so hopefully shouldn't be too long now. Actual textures in the military tunnel bunker rooms were threatened recently, and good to the promise, here are some shots on current progress. Work is moving on to creating a set of modular interior assets to add variety such as pipes, air vents and cables, so all very good news there. And lastly, just when you thought it was safe to make another concept limbo about armour, won't you just take a look at this? After a hiatus of over 6 months, the heavy armour concept has suddenly re-emerged from the broom cupboard of oblivion and seems to be a reality once again. Suddenly, a final pass is being done on the modelling and texturing, and little touches like scuffs and rust patches are being added. After that, it's just a matter of rigging, and before you know it, just maybe, we'll have roof campers in full Ned Kelly cosplay. Yay! Let me know all about what you thought of this week's update. I'll be lurking in the comments section for a bit after this vid goes live as per, and I might just reply to you. Leave a like and a sub. I'd like to stream this weekend too, so come and visit me on Twitch and Twitter, Facebook and Steam. I'll catch you all very soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.